Hi students, this is Tanvi from Volleyball and today I'm going to discuss about ranking puzzle. So we are going to take just 5 minutes to understand the whole concept of your ranking puzzle. So let us see the question first. Okay, so here is the question. Like here you have a set of information where there are 5 friends and each friend have a different height, okay, and there is some information related to their height. So here you have a comparison, like you are going to tell that this person will be in first in rank, this person will be the tallest, this person is second tallest. So this is the kind of question that is given, and he is going to ask you a lot of questions, like you have a set of 5 questions or 4 questions or sometimes even 3 questions if they feel that the question is not a difficult one, okay. So it depends on the difficulty level of question, that how many questions he is going to give you for the given paragraph, okay. So I'm just giving you one question, that who is the shortest. To solve that who is the shortest out of PQRST, so what should be done? Now, most of the students are going to solve it numerically just by looking at the information, because here you have this kind of an information that this is twice, this is 4.5. So although we need to solve it numerically, but just that part for which we need some information, okay. So let us try to understand how we have to handle such questions. Now this second information says that P's height is twice as much as Q. Now, instead of making the equation, what I'm going to do is P's height is twice as much as Q. Means out of P and Q, who is taller? Now, if P's height is twice, that suggests that P is taller than Q. So, we are going to simplify the given information instead of making the equations, okay. So, what does third information says? Q's height is 4.5 times as much as R. So this simply suggests that Q height is taller than R. Q is taller than R, because if Q's height is 4.5 times of R, okay, 4.5 times of R, that suggests Q's height is more than R. Okay, next is R is half as much as S. Means if R is of half height of S, then here S is taller than R. Okay, S height is half as much as T, means from S and T, between S and T, what we understand that S height is half as much as T, means T is taller than S. Next is T's height is less than P but more than R. T is more than R. Okay, so this is the comparison. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are simply going to merge all these informations, and if there is any confusion between any two variables, so just for that part we are going to make the equation. So this is how we have to handle. Okay, so here so P, T and R, we know that P is taller than T and T is taller than R. Okay, about R we know, here we have these two informations. If I combine these two, that R is smaller than, okay, R is smaller than S and S is smaller than T. So this suggests between R and T we have to write S. So here between R and T I am going to fit S. Even without making any numerical equation, I can feel S. I can understand that S is going to be filled between T and R. Okay, so I'm just left with one person, and that name is Q. Okay, so what is the information about P and what is the information about Q? So here you have that P is greater than Q. Here you have Q is greater than R. Okay, so but this suggests that Q will be somewhere between P and R. Okay, Q will be somewhere between P and R. Okay, so that suggests that the shortest person will be R. So we get our answer. Okay, at least we got to know that who is the shortest, even without knowing the exact position of Q. So it totally depends on the question that has been asked. You have to be very careful while solving such questions. Sometimes we keep on wasting our time to make the equations. And you can see, even without making an equation, I could solve this question and tell that who is the shortest. Okay, but still I'm going to explain you it whole. Okay, I'm even going to explain that how can we position Q here. Okay, but at least I hope you got to know that if you're going to face such question, be very question specific. You have to make the solution only that is required by the question. Okay, so there are just 5 friends, okay, and we were doubtful just about Q, right? And here we know that Q is somewhere between P and R, okay? Q is somewhere between P and R. Okay, so if Q is somewhere between P and R, so at least it is not after R, and this suggests that R is the shortest. But if I want to know that where can we position Q, because it can come between P and T, it can come between T and S, and it can come between S and R. So here we have three doubts about it. Okay, so how we are going to solve that? Okay, so if I have a doubt of Q with T, simply we have a doubt of Q with T, because between P and Q I know, between P and Q I clearly know that P is taller than Q. Okay, so we know P is taller than Q. I just want to know that what will be the relation of Q with T. Okay, so how can we solve this? So we need some equation between Q to T. Okay, so here you have Q to R, here you have R to S, and here you have S to T. So we are going to use third, fourth and fifth information to make the equation to clearly know that where can we fill Q. So Q's height is 4.5 times as much as R. Okay, if Q's height is 4.5 times as much as R, so this suggests Q is 4.5 of R. 4 to 8 plus 1, 9. So Q is equal to 9 by 2R, and this suggests 2Q is equal to 9R. This is one equation that we get. Okay, another equation. R is half as much as S. So if R is half of S, so this suggests 2R is equal to S. Another equation we have here. Okay, next is S height is half as much as T. S is half of T. Okay, so 2S is equal to T. So these are the three equations that we need to merge to know the exact positioning of Q. Okay, so first thing that we have is 2Q is equal to 9R, right? Okay, let us solve this now. I have is 2Q is equal to 9R. Okay, so if I multiply it with 2, so it will be what? 4Q is equal to 9 into 2R. Now I'm not doing 9 into 2, 18, because I know that the value of 2R is what? S. Here I know 2R is S, so that I am going to use. So 4Q is equal to 9S it will become. Then again if I multiply it with 2, so it will be 8Q is equal to 9 into 2S, because I know the position of 2S. Okay, 2S is what? T. So it will be 8Q is equal to 9T. So here I can understand the comparison between Q and T. So here what we understand between Q and T, if it is 8Q is equal to 9T, so Q will be greater than T, or we can say Q is taller than T. And if Q is taller than T, that means Q will be filled between P and T. So this is how you can handle the question of ranking puzzle, but be very specific about the question. What is the demand of the question? Sometimes we just waste our time. Okay, and if just the position of Q was unknown here, and out of 5 questions, 4 questions can be solved without solving Q, then you should not waste time in solving the exact position of Q. You are simply going to answer those 4 questions and you can move on to the next question. So it totally depends on the questions that has been asked. So I hope you all like the way, okay, you all like the way of solving such questions. Thank you so much, students. In the last, I would like to tell, subscribe to our new regulatory YouTube channel and regulatory app for more such updates. Thank you so much.